Hello, I'm Jim Christophic from House Made of Ground, and today I'm going to talk with you about how to make Adobe mud, or they call it cob, for the construction of walls for a house or any structure you want to make in the simplest way possible. Right? So first you start with one of these. This is a tub that you buy at Ace Hardware or online on Amazon for $10. I am not going to be using a wheelbarrow. That's $80 and it can get damaged. Not a good move. Some people also buy a mixer for $350, but if you're building in a place where you don't have electricity nearby, that's not going to work. And the gasoline generators for those are a little ridiculous. This is the simplest way to make mud with your body. Very effective. So I take my tub, and the first thing I need to do is fill it with clay earth. Okay, so I've got my clay earth here. It's kind of wet because it rained yesterday, which means I'll add less water to the mix. So I'm going to put my clay earth in here, just like that. Okay. Then take my water. Use my trusty little watering can here. I'm just going to wet it. Over time, you learn how much water to add. I think I usually use 2 to start. So you always want to wet the clay first. First thing to do. Okay. Then I'm going to add my sand. Now, in this bucket that I added, I know there were 6 shovelfuls of clay earth in this bucket. So when I am going to add my sand, I am using 6 shovelfuls of sand. So it's 1 to 1, right? So they'll say siete y siete, or they'll say tzotzit ado tzotzit. 1 for 1, 6 of this, or 7 of this, would be 7 of this, or 6 of this. So it's always 1 to 1. So we'll put the sand in. And this is just standard concrete sand from a gravel yard. You can find it on a riverbed. Very effective. So I'll put that in. Just like that. Some little piece of junk in there. Okay. So then I have to add more water. Now, while I'm doing this, word on shovels, okay? So this is your standard shovel. A lot of shovels you buy now are this shape. They have this point to it. Looks like you're getting ready to stake a vampire with the thing. It's a very aggressive point for digging effectively. When you are making mud like this, this is not the kind of shovel you want to use. It's going to end up ripping up your tub and causing a lot of damage. So you want to get your hands on a shovel that is your standard shovel, like just a regular shovel they sold all through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and now it's some of a rounded head like that. Standard shovel, very easy to find, not your pointed shovel. I have no idea why industry's doing that now. So I'm going to use this shovel in my body to mix this mud. Because this is the internet, I will twerk momentarily. Okay. So you got that. All right, so that's for the internet. That's for the internet. All right. So the way I do this, and the way I make this into a mud, is I'm going to do small slices, running here and running here, just like this. And when I grip the shovel, I'm going to grip it like I'm rowing a canoe. So I can make good use of my whole body to do this, so that I could do this every day until my house is done, or until my wall is done, till my greenhouse is done with the Adobe Cob that I'm making, right? So I make my slices just like that, little slices. And then I cut back through what I made. And I can already tell I probably put too much water in this, but we'll see. Back through what I made. I'm going to come back over here. I my slice here. So I can tell by looking at this mud there's too much water in here. I know that because if I go like this with my shovel, I can't see the tracks of my shovel. Also, if I push the middle away, it comes back in and reforms. So because the clay was wet, I'm going to go add more clay and more sand until it becomes the way I need it to be. So I'll see you in a second. All right, so we grabbed some more sand, more clay earth. Water got a little out of hand because the clay was wet already from the night before. Really not a problem. That's what's great about Cob Adobe, is that it's a very forgiving material, and we're just going to add this clay earth and the sand back in and get the consistency we need. Now, the emotional impacts of not being able to find the right mix right away can be devastating, but I encourage you to keep going and keep twerking, internet. All right, so let's add this in. Add this here. Okay. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to do my slices and add this back into the mud, just like that. Come to the other side, little slices. Just doing little slices down the way. I'm just cutting back through what I made. Notice I'm using a lot of my body to do the movements. My feet are planted. I'm using mostly my hips, not so much my arms. Because your legs are 7 times stronger than your arms. So use your legs and your hips as much as you can. So that's looking much more correct. So it should have a chocolate mousse look to it. When I take my shovel and I bring it across, I can see the track marks of my shovel. Just like that. If I push toward the center, I push away, it doesn't just come fill back in right away. You can see that, right? There you go. And it'll maintain. Okay, so now I need to add straw. People do straw in different ways. They'll say you need to shred the straw, make the straw smaller. That's true. There's different ways to do this. One way is to get a big 55-gallon drum and get a weed whacker and cut it all up in there. Injure yourself with the weed whacker. I don't like those loud engines. I don't like that loud noise and all that crap. So we do it the simple way. Way was taught to me. So I got my straw here. I'm going to get some dry straw. This isn't that dry, I'll be honest, because it rained last night. Thank goodness. Rain is good here in New Mexico. And I'm going to let the straw shred itself. So I'm going to take these 2 heads of straw, put them together, and move them like that. And they will shred each other rather well. Now once I do that, I'm going to use my body to push this into the mud. I'm just doing a subtle step forward, like that, on the one side. Then I go to the other, like a pan of enchiladas, just moving down, pushing, 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 letting the mud absorb the straw. I'm getting more straw here. This is a bit drier. Same thing as before. I'm just taking it, letting it shred itself. And then I push, 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 go back, push, push. These shoes I got for like 50 bucks at Big Five. They are my mudding shoes. They're a form of a tool. You just get your mud shoes. Use those shoes as your designated mud making shoes. Some people, when they make cob, they use a tarp. And they'll use the tarp to drive the moisture into the mud, and they pick the tarp up and dump it. They're using their arms, picking this thing up, and they'll make cob barefoot. Now that's very nice if you can do that. But when you're in the Southwest, when you've got stickers all around and you're on a job site with metal around or any kind of pointed fastener around, it's not really that smart of an idea to walk around with bare feet. I've seen a lot of, let's call them mishaps, that have occurred when people think it's just about dancing the mud together in bare feet. Let's put it that way. Okay, so that's why I've got my mud shoes and I'm doing it this way. Okay. So I'm pushing straw in a bit more. I could add a bit more. Okay. Shredding it here again. Shredding it here again. Then I'm pushing. It's starting to get thicker now. And it's starting to form, in a way, a bit of a mat, like a straw mud mat. And when I start to feel that mat below me, that's where I'm going to curl it back like a jelly roll. I'm just going to roll it back like I'm rolling a burrito. When you do this, you put your hands in the mud. You want slow fingers. If you shove your hands in there real fast, there will be a rock waiting for you and will go under your fingernail, rip your fingernail up. So don't do that. So I put slow hands in, slow fingers, and I roll it back, rolling it back onto itself. Just like that. Once I feel that the mud is there, go back to my straw. I'm going to put more straw in there, shred it up. Place it right on top there, and I'm going to push it down in with my body weight. Just like that. It's starting to get more solid. I can feel the straw is going into the mix and creating consistency, a volume to it. Grab a little more, and then I'll curl it one more time. Roll it back over itself. One more time here. Slow fingers. Don't want to stab myself on a piece of glass that was maybe hiding in the dirt that I didn't see, which is very likely to happen. You never know. And then break my body weight. All this is with my body weight. I'm talking with you right now. I'm not out of breath. able to converse. Try pounding a tire like in an earthship, doing that. Not easy. Okay? So, so now I'm going to check my mix. The way you can tell it's ready, and I can tell this is ready, is I'll take a piece of it like this, and I can make a wad of this stuff, a cob, if you will, because cob it's an old English word meaning a lump. So cob, you can get cob loaves to this day, cobblestone, it's like a lump, you know, on the road. And I can hold this, and it does not change shape. Look at that, same shape. That's ready to go. Doesn't matter if I turn it horizontal, doesn't matter if I drop it vertical. There you go, that's ready to go. So what's happening here is the clay is acting like a concrete, like a glue. It's dragging together an aggregate, which is the sand. The straw is a tensile strength. It's like a weaving. It's like rebar in concrete. And this will build your house for you if you give it the appropriate guidance, now that we've given it the appropriate creation. So now you know.